Yep, that's me. What you are seeing now is my footage of participating in a local Super Smash Bros. Ultimate competition organized by my local community. But right before that, let's talk about my history with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and the tournaments in general. My first exposure to the Super Smash Bros. Franchise was entering this tournament. And yes, I know entering a tournament isn't exactly the best way to garner a first impression of a game, but it was the launch celebration kind of tournament, so I could safely assume that I was not the only newbie around. And by God, I was very noob at this game. I didn't even know how to properly recover. I was that bad. So it was no surprise that I got immediately 2-0 out of my winners and losers bracket, and I got kicked out of the tournament. However, that tournament was a good stepping stone for me to properly get into the series and into the game in general, and so I decided to play more and more as a result. Not long after, I was already at my next tournament on the 16th of March 2019. This time, I didn't go in by myself, but I was accompanied by my good friend Elson. However, he bailed on me at the last second, and so I went in by myself. Oh yeah, on the topic of how I got practice, I didn't have a Switch with me, and so I relied on just going out with my friends and playing on their Switch and practicing on them. And I also lent my other friends Nintendo 3DS that had Smash 3DS on their system. So that's where I built my fundamentals on the game, like how to recover and stuff like that. However, that would soon prove to be not enough as I got 2-0 in my winners bracket, and in my losers bracket, things got a little bit more interesting as this was the first time that I was in the stream setup, which meant that my game and my reaction was all recorded and streamed to the audience. And yes, that was me in Sec 1 playing Keiru against this guy's Zero Suit Samus. And oh my god, man. Looking back, I played absolutely horrible in this match. I mean, it's like it naturally is progression in any field, right? Like as time goes on, you obviously get better as you practice more and play or do whatever you do more. And but it doesn't make the experience of watching this match any less painful, as now I can see so many of the mistakes that I make, and it's just it was painful, man. Although obviously I was happy that I improved. I mean, yeah, I did improve compared to my last tournament, but from where I was then, I was an absolute beginner, so the only place you could go was really up. Yeah, but you know what? This game was still pretty fun. My opponent, he wasn't really no offense, but this guy wasn't really the best. Because if he was the best, he would have whooped my ass in like under 1 minute. But alas, I was the worser player among the both of us because I got my ass handed to me 2-0, and I was kicked out of the tournament. But I wasn't done there because the next tournament I entered was on the 23rd of November 2019. This time I went in with two of my friends, with Elson, the original guy that bailed on me, and some other guy called James. Now this tournament was special to me because it was the first time I didn't get 2-0. In fact, I was the one that did the 2-0, and I won my first ever match in a Smash tournament, and I was pretty proud of myself. However, the celebration would be short-lived as I again got 2-0 in my winners bracket. But this time, my opponent was a top-ranked player in Singapore, so I guess it was kind of understandable. But in my losers bracket, I got my second win. So yeah, that was pretty cool. But in my next match, I got 2-0 against this Inkling who absolutely dismantled me. Moving on to James, my friend Remu, he got 2-0 by this guy called Gang Command, who was also a top-ranked Singapore player. And afterwards, he would lose again to this Incineroar 2-1. So that concluded our November 2019 run in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And then, you know, that happened. So all offline activities was ceased, and I didn't touch Smash Bros. For around like 1.5 years. However, when offline activities resumed on 2022, I joined another Smash tournament on January 22nd, And yeah, it was my first time playing Smash in a whole long time, and surprisingly, I got my first win against this guy. And Jameis wasn't so lucky. He lost to this ice climber. But then afterwards, when I moved on to winners bracket, I again got 2-0 against this Zelda, who was also a ranked Singapore player, so unlucky, I guess. And my next match in losers was against this Lucario, and it was streamed again. I was on the stream setup, and I'm just gonna keep this short. Compared to my last stream setup, I definitely improved. Like, I was hitting my confirms. I knew how to use the tilt stick. I knew like what K. Rool's moves actually did. But yeah, I'm just gonna cut this short. I did lose this match. It was kind of heartbreaking. I didn't know the matchup. I didn't know how Lucario worked. But yeah, that's enough excuses. Now we can move on to present. Okay, not really present day, but the latest Smash tournament that I attended, which was on July 30th, 2022. I went with Jameis again, and I think this guy needs a proper introduction. His feats include owning a Nintendo Switch and having 6 deluxe. The place where we were at, I think they had their own stuff going on. There was some cosplayers, and there was an ML tournament like right outside the venue.
Oh my god, the official!
Yes, I got a picture with her. Anyways, okay, moving on. My first opponent was this guy called Xiao Ming, and from stream setups that he also played in, I found out that he played Captain Falcon, which is my character K. Rool's worst matchup. It's like a +3 matchup. I still also didn't have a Switch with me, and so the last time I played was at the last bloody tournament. And so I was understandably a bit nervous because I didn't really have any other secondaries to play. But by the grace of God, he didn't show up, and so I automatically moved on to the next round. My next opponent was this guy called Slash, and I was originally going to be playing on the stream setup, but I waited like 90 minutes for my match to start because I guess a lot of people were kind of late, so like a lot of people DQ'd, and so the tournament was delayed a bunch, and it didn't help that there were technical issues on the stream as well. When it was finally my turn, the stream wasn't ready, so my match wasn't recorded, and so I had Jameis record this match for me. And like again, I'm just gonna cut this short. I think this Joker was very good. Like, I think he knew the matchup. He knew when he grabbed me, I was gonna mash Nair or neutral air out of disadvantage, so he waited for that, and he just grabbed me over and over again. And he also knew how to use K. Rool's projectiles to his advantage by using Rebel's Guard and building up Arsene. If you don't know much about Smash lingo, it's fine. Just know that I kind of lost, if you didn't guess. Yeah, I did lose this match 2-0, and I moved on to losers bracket. Jameis's opponent was this Mega Man, which I recorded the match, and he also kind of got kind of destroyed. I think the nerves kind of got to him, and he couldn't really play at his peak. And it also didn't help that this guy is probably going through a character crisis. I don't know what kind of characters he plays. He plays every character under the sun. So for this one, he went Mario, and I think in one game he also taunted off stage. Not off stage. He taunted at Lich. It was probably unintentional, but still, it was pretty funny. Knowing him, he would probably do that. He would probably do that intentionally. But nonetheless, he lost this match, and he was also into losers bracket, same as me. Here comes the twist of the goddamn century. Out of 100 attendants, out of 100 people, my opponent was Remu Garu, Jameis. Since this was losers bracket, whoever would lose this would be kicked out of the tournament. So this was what are the chances? What is this anime we're living in? And as if things couldn't get any more wilder, he pulls out the young Link, a character that I have never seen him play in my lifetime. And he even says that he has like 5 minutes of playtime on him. none of us recorded the match because both of us were playing. So I found this match between a King K. Rool versus a Young Link, and I'll try my best to try to recreate the match as best as I can.
We have lost our edge, don't you know? Forgotten is the life we right now seems. You're talking about whiskey. The peaceful times of a May as bright can be bad. The will not come back, can be afraid. It's time after time, so once again I'm hiding in my room. The peaceful times of a May as bright. So you can fly, you never try. You told me not long ago, but you left all outside your game. So more than ever it's real. It was like a nightmare and it's painful for me. 'Cause nobody wants to die too fast. Remember day will be now strange for me. I can see your face, I can hear your voice. Remember day will met and it's painful for me. 'Cause nobody wants to die too fast. Remember day dream and it's painful for me. I can see your face.
In the end, I won 2-1 and I move on to my next opponent. I 2-0 him in quick fashion, and I move on to my next opponent, now having 3 wins. However, this is where I meet my end as I get 2-0'd by this really cracked ass Roy. And yeah, that concludes all the Smash tourneys that I have entered. Overall, Smash Ultimate has been probably one of the top games of the past 3-4 years for me. There's so much technical stuff you can learn, so many matchups, and I love King K. Rool, the crocodile. And yeah, I'm probably gonna enter more after my O's, and probably hope to get top 16. But that's about it for this video. Thank you, everybody.